Hey everyone, it's Natalie. Welcome to my channel. Today I am sharing with you something that I'm really excited about. This is an organizing, a little bit of a DIY video. I am going to be transforming my homeschool area in our house. We don't have a dedicated homeschool room, so the space that we use for homeschooling our 3 children is our kitchen table, and then we use this cube storage unit in our hall to store everything, but it has gotten so disorganized, like really bad. And so today I am sharing with you how I organize everything, and then I'm also going to be doing a DIY. I am putting together these homemade open shelves that I thought was a much better use of the space than just having a picture hanging on the wall. I hope you guys enjoy coming along with me as we work on this and as I put this whole little homeschool space together and refresh it up a little bit. I hope you get some inspiration if you are looking to tackle a project like this for yourself. I want to be an example that you do not need a huge homeschool room in order to have a functional and beautiful space to homeschool your kids. So if you do enjoy this video while you're watching it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And without further ado, let's get organizing. So my plan of action for organizing this cube unit in the hall was, first of all, to go through all of the drawers. Each drawer kind of had their own purpose, but everything was really disorganized within the drawers, and there was some crossover from drawer to drawer. So I just made piles of stuff that was my own personal items, things for the kids, and I separated those out from playthings versus homeschool items. I found a lot of dried up Play-Doh, some broken crayons, a lot of mail of ours that was old that just needed to be shredded, and various odds and ends. And so I just continued to organize everything into their respective little piles on my kitchen floor, and I was getting a little bit sore, so I ended up putting a pillow on the floor to continue organizing. I am definitely at the crisis point, the point of no return here, but I think most of the hard work has been done. I accomplished a lot with the organizing that I did so far. Some of the stuff hasn't even been gone through since we moved into this house. Embarrassing, I know, but we've all been there. Now that I kind of have everything laid out, I'm going to start sorting it into the individual bins, and then I'm going to start working above the cube unit. And welcome to day 2 of the project. Today is going to involve actually trying to construct these shelves. I'm doing it super budget friendly. I've always wanted to like make my own shelves for a project, and so I thought this would be the perfect time to start. So the kids right now are playing with some Play-Doh. I realized when I went through my collection of Play-Doh that most of what we had already been dried out and was sour smelling. So we got some new stuff. They're occupied doing that, and I'm going to try to tackle the first part of the shelving project. We bought one 16-foot board and had it cut into 4 sections. I'm doing 2 to 3 shelves on this wall. I don't know yet until I start like piecing them in, but they are too long. They fit on the wall, but they just look a little bit too long for how big this cube unit is underneath them. So I have DeWalt batteries charging for Weston's skill saw, and I'm going to attempt to cut them down. If the skill saw won't cut it, literally, then I will take them over to my dad's. He has a miter saw at his house, which I just might need to do. But I thought I would pick up the camera again and show you what I'm doing today. I would say the toughest and most boring part of the job is done now that I went through all of these drawers, got rid of the garbage, put the system together much more smartly. If I stopped the project right here, I would be so happy with the results. So I'm already feeling very excited about it, but now I get to do like the fun part, which is like the DIY part. So we shall see how it goes. So what would a DIY video be without some fails here and there? And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, day 2 was a total bust. And it's because I kind of changed my mind, but also kind of realized more of what I was actually looking for. So first of all, the stain that I got was too dark. I wanted definitely more of a lighter and warm walnut finish, and I ended up getting a really dark walnut finish that, while it turned out beautiful and I think someone who would enjoy a dark walnut finish would like it, it just wasn't right. And I didn't want to put all of this work into this project and end up with something that I wasn't ultimately happy with. The second problem was also the width of the boards. They were just too thick. It wouldn't be a good choice to hang them on our wall on the drywall, and I felt like they would look really heavy and like a monstrosity just hanging up there on my wall. So I, after doing all of the cutting the boards down, sanding, staining, and looking at, where to put them on the wall and doing all of that figuring out, I slept on the idea, and the next morning I went all the way back to Home Depot and bought different wood, had them cut it down for me to the size that I wanted, which was 42 inches in length versus 48 inches. And I purchased 2 different colors of wood stain that I ultimately mixed together to create my perfect warm, light walnut finish. So let's fast forward a little bit to day 3, and now I'm going to show you the process that I did of putting these shelves together. So I'm going to link everything that I used in this project in the description box if you guys want to check out these items for yourself. But I just started off by sanding down the boards that I had cut down for me at Home Depot. I used 2 different grits of sanding blocks. One was a little bit more coarse to take off any really rough edges, and the other was definitely more fine to just make it a little bit softer and smoother. But I wasn't going for a super soft buttery grind. I actually wanted it to look just a little bit rough and rustic, but not give me splinters at the same time. So I got it down to what I liked as far as sanding, and then I went in with some wood stain. I got these 2 little 8-ounce cans of the Barthane Classic Wood Stain. Early American was a little too cool in tone, and Golden Oak was a little too warm. And when I mixed them together, they were the perfect color that I was going for. And I just applied these with a lamb's wool applicator that I had. I spread the wood stain on the surface, rubbed it in a little bit, and then took the drier side of that applicator to wipe off any excess. I did the same thing on all sides of the boards, the ends and the edges, and I wanted it to be a super even application because I actually only wanted 1 coat of the stain so that the true color and texture of the wood could still show through.
through. After waiting for the stain to dry according to the directions on the cans, I then went in with some polyurethane spray, which I actually didn't get any footage of, but I wanted you to know that I did seal off the wood with a polyurethane spray. And while I was waiting for that to dry, I went back inside and started to hang my brackets on the wall. So after scoping it out, doing some math, doing some measuring, I decided that I wanted 3 shelves total on the wall, and then I just placed the brackets on according to the measurements that I wanted. On the right side, there was no stud, and I had to use some toggle bolts that I also got at Home Depot. These just distribute the weight a bit more evenly, and they make it a much secure hold on that side. And then on the left side, brackets actually were in a stud on the wall, so I used just standard wood screws to get those attached. After I was done hanging the brackets, I actually took a shower because I was covered in sawdust and wood stain and polyurethane, and after everything was dry, but not my hair because it was still wet, I decided to bring those boards in and start placing them on the brackets. I attached the shelves to the brackets with little wood screws up through the bottom, and I just made sure that I was remaining level as I went. So I used this little level marker and went back and forth and used a measuring tape to make sure I was center on the brackets, and shelf by shelf I just made them as secure and as even as possible. And then for a final touch, I went in with some black paint and I painted over the screws that I put into the brackets. I didn't end up using the hardware that the brackets came with because they were completely inadequate, but I love the way this turned out. It looks exactly like I wanted it to. I'm so glad that I didn't just go with the stain and the boards that I had worked on the day before. I'm glad I went in and I made it exactly what I wanted to, because this looks so good.
And that brings us to here. So I have the shelves on the wall. They're empty except for that one plant up there. And I wanted to take you along as I start placing things on the shelves. I do have some more things that aren't going on it today because I'm waiting for them to arrive. But in the homeschool room tour that I'm going to be doing soon, I will share it all with you, as well as what's in those drawers and how I organized everything and how we utilize it in our homeschooling space, and show you like the whole space as an entire package. I just didn't want to have a DIY video and organizing video be the same video as the homeschool tour. Just wanted to break it up a little bit. So stay tuned for that video coming out very soon. But for right now, let's start putting things on these shelves and completing this little area. Well, that's everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along with me as I revamped this homeschool space, made it a bit more functional, made it a bit more pretty, at least in my opinion. I'm really excited to hop into homeschooling with my kids with the space refreshed like this. I know it's going to benefit my mood, and that in turn will benefit the kiddos' moods. I'm so glad that you guys joined me for this. It ended up being like a 4-day project, so thanks for sticking around. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you are subscribed, don't forget to hit that bell button so you don't miss whenever I post a new video. That homeschool room tour is coming out soon, so if your bell button's turned on to all notifications, you'll be sure to not miss that or the other videos that I have coming out soon. If you did get some inspiration from this video and you want to tackle a task of your own, then definitely go share that over on Instagram and be sure to tag me, whether it's your before or your after. I would love to see it all. I always get so much inspiration and motivation from you guys as well. My Instagram is linked in the description box if you're not following me there already, but I think it's time to sign off and go enjoy this new space. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are, and I'll catch you later.